Yo, 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 what's poppin', Showtime gang? So today we're going to talk about support and resistance lines. The reason why it's so important in the stock market world is because it allows you to see which way the market is going, whether you should go for a sell or for a put, and exactly where to get into those sell or put positions in. It also allows you to get more precise entries when it comes to getting in for a buy or for a sell. And the way these support and resistance line are set up is due by patterns that was in the past. We will see that several times the market will hit a certain spot into the market and then drop and then go back up and hit that same spot again and then drop, and it will never really pass this spot, or it will consolidate around this one spot before it finally breaks through. So the reason for getting to understand the resistance and support line and why it's so essential to the way you trade and being profitable in trading is because most importantly it gives you a precise entry point, whether the market is going up or down. So today we're going to learn how to mark a support or a resistance line on a graph. And then after, we're going to talk about the 5 most important things to know about a support or a resistance line in order to become profitable from it and in order to see which way the market is moving and get into a precise entry. If you find this video to be helpful for you, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel to keep up with the content so we could keep learning more and more things about the stock market. We also have a stock market signals group chat, and the link will be in the descriptions down low. And in this chat, we call out different signals to get into. We get in more descriptive details about these type of topics and different things like that. Everyone's having fun, everyone is making money from it. So if that's something that you think you want to get into, click that link down low, join the family. Without further ado, man, let's get into these charts. So one website I like to go to is Tradeview.com. It's free. You can see all charts there. You could graph up all charts that you want. You could connect it to a Google account, whatever it is. So we're gonna connect it to this one. So I actually went into the currency market. So right now we're gonna look at currencies Euro USD. That's personally one of my favorite currencies. I just like the way it moves. And what I like to do actually is I actually do not like to use I don't like this form of trading right here. I like to use candlesticks. Reason why I like to personally use candlesticks is because candlesticks is like a separate language. It lets you know different things that's happening in the market, different patterns, different movements that might happen. It's all literally just a different language, and it helps me out a lot. Like I said, we talk about this more within the group chat. So if that's something that you want to learn about more into, definitely click that link. So I'm gonna click on this graph right here. As you see, I already had it charted up a little bit from earlier. I had a few class with a few of my students and we was going over this. So basically, support and resistance. So let me delete this. Let's start from scratch, right? Let's start from scratch. All right, so always remember, guys, when we're trying to find a support line, we're always looking for consolidations near the peak sections. This right here is a peak. This is a peak, right? Every time it goes up and it's hitting that area, it is called a peak. This is a peak, right? Another one right here. And right here, what we're looking for is consolidations. So consolidations is when multiple candles are going in and out of one area, right, for a numerous amount of time. Right now, I'm looking at this at the 4-hour time frame. Right, so it depends what type of trading you're doing. If you're doing swing trading, which is a week trade, you want to look at this from the day perspective, right? And all you do is you go ahead, you go up, you go right here and you click the time frame. You look at it from a day perspective. That's what I do. If I do a day trade, where I need 6 hours plus, I'm looking at this from the 4-hour time frame, anywhere from the 1-hour time frame to the 4-hour time frame, right? And I'm seeing different type of signs. If I'm doing a quick trade, like a little 5-minute trade or a 10-minute trade or something like that, I'm always looking at the 5 minutes. I'm never going anything less than the 5-minute mark, right? So like I said, the quicker the trade, the less amount of minutes you want to have up here. The lowest I go is 5 minutes if I'm doing like a quick trade. But like I said, a lot of times I like to be patient. I like to watch the chart for days. I like to see different movement, and I like to get in exact key moments, right? So every day I'm not trading, but the days I do trade, I'm making sure those are the days that I've been planning for, right? By doing these type of things. So I'm looking at this from the 4-hour time frame, right? So as we see here, our mark right now is at 1.186, right? So I'm not going to be looking at anything down here. I'm not going to be looking at anything all the way up here. I'm trying to find a good entry for where my mark is right now, right? So step number 2, when it comes to finding your resistance line, you always want to look left to right. You never want to look right to left, right? Because right now we're looking for patterns, right? Because remember, stock market is a big game of patterns, right? If you can find the patterns that happened in the past and you see that those patterns are starting to form in the present charts, you're going to make a lot of money from it, right? So that's what we want to do. We want to catch those patterns. So as we see here, right, we see we're near the peaks. There's a lot of consolidation going on over here. Look, right, a lot of consolidation going on in these areas. So this is letting me know that I could find a resistance line in this area, right? And so step number 3, look for 3 or more candles that's hitting an exact point but does not pass that area, right? So to make that make sense, I'm going to graph what I see right now in the resistance line and explain why I see that, right? So I'm looking in this area right here, right? And the reason why, because like I said, you want to find 3 or more candles that are touching the area but do not pass it, right? So we look here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, etc., right? All we're looking for is 3 or more. So this is a strong resistance line right here, right? This is letting me know that every time that our mark gets near our resistance line, we want to go for a sell. Right? That's simple. That's as simple as it is. Remember in the beginning of the video, I told you guys, this is very, very, very useful for getting precise entries, right? Because we get to see the way the market moves and we get to see how the way the market is moving up and down in the spots that is stopping at, right? The market seems to not be strong enough to pass this mark, right? And we see it in the past. Remember, this is a big game of patterns. So now if we want to find our support line, it's literally doing the same exact thing, but now you're finding it towards the dips, right? So remember, before we was looking at the peaks, now we're looking at the dips. So we're looking at areas like this, the dips, another dip area, the dips, right? We're looking at the dips, right? Because we want to find out support. This is what is supporting the candlesticks and allowing it to continue to go up. The same exact rules apply. Remember, step 2, you want to find areas where there's a lot of consolidations during your dips, right? And we do not want to look anywhere further than what we have to, right? So actually, I want to look at areas closer to here, right? You have a nice little dip right here, right? You got a nice little dip right there. So that's what I want to look at, right? And I'm going to mark that area actually, because like I said, it follows all the rules we are looking for. It follows all of the rules we are looking for, right? So remember, I said 3 or more. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see these ones right here, if I could zoom in, you see these ones right here basically touched it, right? So you have a whole bunch of numerous candles hitting this spot but not passing it. So this is letting me know this is a strong support line. So I want to do the same thing. When this mark gets low to around 1.184, I want to go for a call. Right, that's going to give me a nice, precise entry because I know, according to my past, with the previous way the chart has been moving, that it will not pass this line. As we see, it broke through here and it came right back. So we're going to do the same thing, right? We're going to choose a different currency this time. Let's go to GBP USD, right? Let's go to GBP USD. Remember, guys, it's the same stuff. Right, so right now we on Great Britain versus USD, right? GBP versus USD, and we're going to do the same thing, right? Remember, guys, I said we're going to go from left to right, right? Because what we want to do is we want to go back in time and we want to find this exact pattern so we know exactly what is going on when it comes to marking our support and resistance line, right? So as I'm looking back and I'm trying to find a nice resistance line, I see one already, right? What we're looking for is the peaks. And we're looking for the consolidations, right? Which is when we see a whole bunch of little candles next to each other. So let's mark this up. Whoops, my bad. All right. Right, so I see a nice little one right here. Right, remember I said 3 or more candles touching the area but does not pass it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. 7, 8, etc. So this is telling me this is a really good resistance line, right? And remember, guys, we always want to stay near wherever our market is currently, right? So we don't want to go all the way down here because it's not going to benefit us, right? So if I look right here, boom, I see another one. But I'm gonna even look back just to get even a more solid confirmation on it. Yep. So look, same thing, guys. And I'll even make a mini one right here, right? Just in case, even a little riskier one. All right, I'll probably move it like right there. I'll change this color like maybe change this to like orange, right? So this is my main support line, and this is my main resistance line. The reason why I mark this orange line is because I see a mini little support line right here. You know, I didn't get a solid enough confirmation with the previous ones. So I made a little orange line just to tell me personally that this is not my main support line. But if it does go here, I could go for a light trade, right? So like I said, guys, that's all you need to know when it comes to marking your support and resistance line. You need to look left to right, check for the peaks, check for your dips, and look for your consolidations. Look for the marks where you see multiple candlesticks reaching a spot but do not pass, right? And that's where you want to mark it up at. I showed you guys two perfect examples of it. Like I said, we get into more depth with the group chat, so tap into the link if you, like I said, if this is something that you want to get into more. I don't want to make this an hour-long video. So now let's talk about the 5 most important things to know about your support and your resistance line in order for you to benefit the most from it financially. Rule number 1, always remember 3 or more candlesticks. This is very, 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 very important. And just remember, the more candles that hit that area but do not pass it gives you a stronger confirmation of that support, of that resistance line, right? So having 6 to 7 candles hit an area rather than 2 or 3 gives you a stronger confirmation that that's a strong resistance line or that's a strong support line. So what I like to say is 3 or more. Rule number 2. Please do not force a spot, right? If you do not see it, do not force it, because most likely if you can't see it clear as day, it's not there, right? This is your game plan, right? So I'm coming an hour before I'm about to trade, or I'm coming 2 hours before I'm about to trade, and I'm marking my chart. So when it's time to trade, I know where to get into, right? That's what I do personally. So I do not want to mark these wrong, and then I get into bad entries and I start losing money, right? So if you don't see it, do not mark it, right? If it's not clear as day, do not get into it. Rule number 3, the best time to get into a trade is near your support line and near your resistance line, right? The point of me doing all of this is so I get into an accurate entry during the trade, right? Because due to the patterns, I get to see that, okay, well, this is letting me know that this has not passed this certain area yet, right? So I want to go for a call because, like I said, it's a wave. It's going to continue to go up and down. Right? So to make that make sense, I always want to buy near my support lines and I always want to sell near my resistance lines, right? That's the purpose of a support and resistance line. I do not want to sell or buy anything in the middle because it's not a strong enough confirmation. The market could reverse at any moment and I'm stuck because I took a risky trade that wasn't near my support or resistance line. Rule number 4, if you see a big candlestick form and it goes past your support or resistance line, leave it alone, right? That means the market is about to have a shift in movement. And right now I found 2 perfect examples, right? So look right here. The market it's going up. This is a nice resistance line in the past right here, right? Goes up, down, etc. And then it gets here and you see this long candlestick. Do not go for a sell if you see one candlestick go from all the way near your support line to your resistance line. Right? Just let it ride out. That's telling you that there's a lot of news going on in the currency. Remember, guys, that's how I like using candlestick because it's like a language. It tells me what's going on. This is telling me that there's a huge shift in momentum with currencies and there's a lot of news going on. Right? So let this ride out. Let it finish doing what it has to do. Because most people who don't do the support and resistance line, they would have went for a sell around this area and lost money. Right? So if you see a big candlestick, let it ride out. Right? That's just letting you know that the momentum is shifting. Like even look right here, another one. This was at a resistance line. One big put candlestick went from the resistance line all the way to the support. Most people would think, okay, let me go for a call right here. But no, it is a big candlestick. And look what happened. What was the outcome? It's letting you know that there's going to be a shift in momentum. So remember, big candlesticks, leave it alone. And then rule number 5, guys, the most important, what I tell everybody. Be patient, right? Be patient. The number one reason people lose money inside of the stock market world and the currency world and day trading world because they rush, right? Everyone wants to make money. Everybody wants to rush and try to make some money. Take your time. Get into solid entries. Look at your charts, study your charts, put your support and resistance line, see the way it's moving, right? And then when you finally see something, get into it for however amount of time you was watching the charts at, right? And that's the best way to go. Not every day you should be placing trades, right? There's going to be days where there's not going to be nothing going on in the market. So why would you risk your money and have a higher chance of losing it because you don't know what's going on? Right? So be patient, guys. Take your time. When you're charting, take your time. It's all going to benefit you at the end. Some of the top traders in the world are the most patient people. So remember, guys, patience is key. And like I said, if you felt like you learned something in this video, if you felt like you learned more about your support and resistance line and how to chart it up and just the knowledge and terminology behind it, subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Like I said, subscribing is going to keep you up with the content, keep you educated with different things that's going on with the stock market world. And like I said, just showing love to this video is letting me know that, I helped you guys out and that y'all benefited from it. Also, comment down below some more questions you guys have about the stock market, just, about graphing and different things like that, or how I do things personally. Ask questions down low. We're going to answer all of those. We're going to try to make as much videos as possible to get to you guys. And those of you who want more depth detail about things like this and how to market charts and getting into different signal calls for the day, click the link down low. And on there, they talk about things like this, but in more detail. They call out trades to get into, whether it's stock market, whether it's currency trading, day trading, long-term trading, different things like that. And like I said, everybody's having a blast on there. So like I said, the link is down low in the bio if that's something that you want to tap into. Hope you guys learned something. And like I said, good luck out there in the trading world. Peace.